Hello, my name is Nicole Belwar, and I attended the Nslc theater program this summer from July 7th to July 17th. And basically, NSLC is National Student Leadership Conference, and I went to the theater conference, and it was very, very amazing. It was like theater heaven. We got to see Broadway shows, off-Broadway shows. We got to meet with professional actors, directors, playwrights, techies, stage managers. And along the way, we got to learn about leadership and what it means to be a leader. And I just want to talk about my experience there. All right, well, first of all, you made friends as soon as you walked through the door. Like, when I was in New York City at Fordham University Lincoln Center, and when we got there, my dad and I couldn't find where the Lincoln Center, like Fordham University was in Lincoln Center, so we're like looking around, and I meet this girl, and I'm like, hey, are you going to NSLC? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, are you doing theater? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, so we made friends right away, and I was like, so where are you from? And she's like, Hawaii, and I was like, ooh, Hawaii, like, because I mean, I come from Pennsylvania, and like Pennsylvania to New York, and then she's all the way from Hawaii, and I was like, damn, but yeah, and then like so I got there, I got packed in. You actually get to live in the dorms with a roommate and suite mates to like share a bathroom with, and so I'm going down to lunch because they had lunch as soon as we got there, and like I met some people on the way, and we hit it off real quickly, and everyone was talking, everyone was so friendly and stuff, and you got to learn that like everyone was from everywhere, and everyone was just so friendly. Like, it wasn't awkward making friends. Like, you could just literally go to a group of people, be like, hey, Nicole, what's up? And no one would be like weirded out. They were all just so open, like, hey, come out and talk to us. And it was really nice. And so basically that was the first day, was just meeting everyone. We had a lot of free time, or we had boundaries near the university where we could walk in, but they had like 5 different Starbucks, like a CVS, a Duane Reade's, which is basically like a convenience store, food market, like anything you would want, and like you could go to Lincoln Center and like sit there, hang out with some friends. It was really nice. And then so you got split up into these groups called TA groups. I got put, they have like 13 people in each group, and I was put in this TA named Peter. And basically in your TA groups, you would be working together, traveling together when we go on shows and stuff, and working on a show together, and you had to do all the like techie stuff, like stage manager. And when we got to select like what roles you'll be doing, like with tech and stuff, like costumes, makeup, sound, lighting, all that jazz. What we did is on a piece of paper, we wrote down what we wanted to do. And I wrote down like design or something. And then our TA took away all our papers, and then he switched them up. So whoever's paper you got, that's what the job you would get. So I ended up being the stage manager, and I hated it because I didn't even know what a stage manager did. I still don't really know what a stage manager does, but everyone's all like, oh, it's such an awesome job, congratulations. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And and everyone else got to work like together in groups, but since I was the stage manager, I'd do it by myself. And I mean, after a while, I got the hang of it, and I even won a Tony Award, or mini Tony Award. But yeah, it was really fun, getting to experience something new, because usually I'm an actress and stuff. But yeah, we got to do literally everything by ourselves with our show. We picked our show, which we picked a show called How to Succeed in High School Without Really Trying. And then we got to pick our parts, and that was actually really stressful because, well, my show had 230 roles, and there was 13 of us. So it wasn't like who gets to be what part, it was who gets to say what line, like whose line is it anyway? And that got really complicated, but like we figured it out, and we did the blocking all ourselves. Like our TA literally did nothing. We had to do it all ourselves, and it was a really cool experience. But yeah, we got to the shows we saw were Bullets Over Broadway with Zach Braff, and we got to meet the cast afterwards, including Zach Braff. And then we got to see Violet on Broadway, you know, with the beautiful, talented Sutton Foster, who I'm like obsessed with, and I kind of worship her. So the fact that I got to see her live on Broadway, like in Violet, it was amazing. And Violet was a beautiful show. Like, we were all crying afterwards. If you haven't seen it yet, I suggest you go see it. But anyway, we got to talk with some of the cast afterwards, not all of them. But anyway, so we're talking to the cast afterwards for Violet, and there goes Sutton Foster walking across the stage with her puppy, just on stage, and we're all like, oh my god. And like, we're all like cheering for her, and she's like, alright, bye guys. And I'm like, I love you. Oh my god, it was so awesome. But yeah, we also saw an off-Broadway show called When We Were Young and Unafraid, and it was a straight play. And it was very, very well written. Whoever the playwright of that show is, When We Were Young and Unafraid, beautiful job, beautiful. Yeah, and we also got to do like master classes. Like, there was an acting master class and a vocal master class. And for the acting one, like, I had a monologue prepared, and so the guy who was teaching was a director. His name was Matt. Can't remember his last name, but he worked on Annie. And basically, he was like talking. He's like, so who here has a monologue? And like 14 of us out of like the 70 that there were like raised our hands. And he's like, all right, well, today during the class, I'm just going to point to one of you randomly and say, perform your monologue. And he points to me, and he's like right now. And I'm like, right now? And he's like, yeah, right now. So I literally just dropped everything, started performing my monologue, and after I was done, like, everyone was screaming and cheering, and he was like, that was amazing. And then like people kept on like talking about it, like, Nicole, that was your monologue, I loved it so much, and the fact that you were able to just perform it, like, I would not be able to do that. And I don't know, everyone just made me feel so special and stuff. Like, yeah, that was my monologue. And yeah, like, I learned a lot during that class. And also during the vocal master class, you had to have sheet music. And I didn't have sheet music, so I didn't get to perform a song. But I still learned a lot from just watching the class, from watching other people work on their songs taught me a lot. So it really came in handy. Another thing that really came in handy was the fact that we got to meet with professional actors and directors and playwrights, and like, they told us how it's like to work in New York City as a professional actor. And like, that stuff came in handy because it made me really think about if I really wanted to be an actress or not. Because a lot of them, they said, like, if you're good at anything else, do that instead. But the thing is, I'm not really good at anything else, so I'm just going to stay with acting and theater. But they gave us some tips on like how to find auditions, like how to prepare for auditions, like what the director is looking for in actors and stuff when you go into audition. And it was all very, very helpful for me being an actress and stuff. And it was like theater heaven, basically. Yeah, the shows were really good again, like Bullets Over Broadway. It was very entertaining. In a comedy, Woody Allen wrote it, and then Violet was a very drama. It was like reading a book. It was like Violet. But yeah, so at the end of NSLC, we got to do our presentations on what the design, lighting, and all that would be like. And then we performed our shows, and then we had Tony Awards, which is where like every group won a Tony. And like my group won a lot for design, because the girls we had in design, Sophie and Sam, were just really, really good. But we also won one for like visual concept, which I got to keep because like as the stage manager, I kept on everyone on task to make sure that they were hitting like the visual concepts. So they're like, Nicole, you can keep it. And I was like, yay. And then I can go home and be like, I won a Tony Award in New York City. But yeah, and also when we were like doing something with a master class or seeing a show or with our TA groups, we either had free time where we could walk around, or they had socials for us where they had like this birthday cake social where we got to eat birthday cake and play board games. There's just like dance parties, karaoke, and those were really fun because they like always kept us like on our feet. And I don't know, we all just got really, really close to each other, and I had a lot of fun, and I missed it.